I am challenging myself in a big way today. Actually, this is the third weekend I've started this project, and let's see if I actually get it done. So I decided that if this helps somebody else that, like me, is not technologically savvy, then maybe this will help. Maybe this will help them, and my thinking will help somebody else work through it. So here is what I am installing. It is a BMV-712 Smart Battery Monitor, and the plan is that this can then work on my phone so that I can check the battery, because for some reason, this is a new to me truck camper, although it's a 2018 Northern Lite. For some reason, when I was using the furnace, the battery monitor that came with it drops down to no charge, even though everything still works. So I'm not sure if it was a connection or the battery monitor itself, but this will allow me to check it on my phone and have more detailed information. So I'm hoping it'll help me determine if the batteries are bad or if it's a connection, or maybe this will fix whatever the issue is. I have been running lots of other things without any issue, so I don't think it's my batteries. But hopefully this will be something extra that can give me peace of mind. So this is what I'm installing, and I went to do it, as I said, 2 previous weekends and didn't have the right parts. Not because, I mean, the box came with everything. It comes with a guide that tells, a manual that tells you how to use it once it's set up, and it comes with quick start information, which I have here. I'm looking at the diagram to figure it out, and it comes with the actual piece that you put on your wall to look at it, but I don't think I'm going to run it in. I think I'm going to leave it here in the compartment so I don't have to run it up through, since I have it on my phone as well, and because I don't know if running wires is probably way beyond my capability right now. And it comes with these 2 things that I will figure out what it is later. And it comes with this smart shunt, which is what allows you to check it on your phone. And this cabling too. Got to figure that out. Anyway, what I discovered when I went to pull it out before is that my battery compartments are really, really small. I have 2 of them, and so there's not much room around them. And I, quite frankly, was overwhelmed. So I took a battery out last week, looked inside, realized that I didn't have a whole lot of room, and made the decision that I probably need what's called a bus bar. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to install this on the back wall of the battery compartment, where most of the negative battery wires are, because this one has all the positive battery wires, and then there's a negative wire that runs. This goes to the battery, and then there's another one here. I don't know if you can see it. This goes through the wall to the positive battery. So basically all the negative wires are on the battery in this compartment, but there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things on 6 things, 6 connections on the same one battery post. So that's why I'm using this. And I just dropped something. Oh, probably the screw I picked. What's called a bus bar. And so then I attach all the wires to this, and then one wire from this to the bat. Let's see. From that to the smart shunt, and then the smart shunt goes to the wall, I think is how it works. Anyway, obviously I have to work it out in more detail. But before I did that, sorry, I dropped a screw, I think, here. I have more. But before I did that, I took my ladder, which is actually, this is actually a really cool ladder. It's telescoping, so it fits in the back seat of my truck. Perfect. I went up there and I put some cardboard up on the solar panel because apparently that should be turned off so it's not getting any electricity. And then I also turned off the battery from inside here. And then to be extra safe, it's unplugged from the truck. And I unplugged it from the house too, so there shouldn't be any electricity going to the batteries. Now, last time I did this, I actually was trying to put the battery back and I dropped the wrench and it touched the opposite post. There were sparks flying everywhere. And so I noticed this time that I don't know if you can see this, I kind of damaged the bolt from the sparks. So I'm trying not to do that this time. Wish me luck. Okay, so it's starting to look like I have another problem. This is actually too big for this. So now I'm not sure whether we got the wrong bar or whether I need to change out these things. No idea. And I'm sure somebody who understands this would know right away, but I have no freaking idea. This, I'm thinking we need to change these out, but I don't know if they have to be a certain size for their use. Don't know. Got to figure all that out. So I don't think I'm going to finish this today either. So now we're going on day number 4. Today's day number 3, trying to figure this out. I keep coming up with all these different issues. Okay, so as I said, the bus bar, I don't even know what terminology to use. Okay, so the loops that go around the negative post on the battery were too big for the posts on the bus bar. And so I did what any intelligent woman would do in this situation. I called my father and said, what do I do? Do I need to replace those, the little eyes? What do I need to do? And he, of course, having been a handyman his whole life, came up with a brilliant idea of using washers and using every second post. So let's see if I can, hopefully you can see that there. See, I used every second post and then I put washers in and then I put the bigger wires. Now this wire is going to go to the shunt for the battery monitor. That's the plan. This will go on the battery monitor shunt as well. Oops, hold on. I'm not showing it to you, I don't think. Hang on. This wire will go to the battery shunt monitor as well. That's the plan. I hope it works. I'm actually going to wrap up for the night and continue again tomorrow. Okay, so it's the next day and I forgot to start the video. I have run these red wires. I wanted to make sure that they were long enough because they had to go in through this section here where the other wires go in, and then they had to come out the other side because they need to be attached to the positive post on this battery and somewhere else, but I haven't figured out that far yet. So now I am attaching the shunt, and it's a bit of a hassle because I cannot get a drill in this area, so I'm having to screw them in by hand, and it's awkward. It's awkward, but I got one in, so that means I can do the other. Okay, so I figured out which of these was which and put them in these little holes. They just kind of stick up and then these orange things pop out. So I'm hoping that means it's in. You can't really push them back down while they're in there. I attached the negative, the big heavy negative wire coming from the inside of the camper to the right side, which is what it suggested in the directions. And then this one will be, once I get the battery back, it'll be the negative coming off the battery to here from the negative post. This will go on the positive side of the battery and it joins the other battery together. And then, where are we? Okay, I'm sorry. This one will go on the negative post of the battery, and then I have to add another wire going from the negative post to here. That's a correction. So I also hooked up this, but it sticks out the back, so obviously it's meant to be in a wall as opposed to just in the battery compartment. So I've got it out here sitting on a makeshift table until I get the battery back in and then figure out what I'm going to do with all this. I don't want to cut the wire because I may eventually put it in the camper. I just want to see if it works. So I guess I have to figure out how to move this battery back into here. It's pretty darn heavy. I might need to get help. Okay, so I hit another snag. Now, if I ever put this online, you'll probably be wondering, why is she putting this online with all her mistakes? Well, that's precisely why I'm putting it online, because I have watched so many videos that show you how things work smoothly and how to put it together, and they don't tell you about the potential pitfalls you'll come across, so you don't necessarily prepare for them. So now you'll be really prepared. So I've run into another problem, and that is for the shunt. It actually has a hole with a bolt that goes into it, and that's where you attach the negative wire. Well, I've run into a bit of a problem in that the negative wire, and here's the bolts, so it doesn't fit. So after all of that, and my dad's brilliant idea of putting a washer on it, I've hit a point where I can't do that. I'm actually going to have to replace the end of this to get it to fit on this, to do the last piece to getting the monitor put on. So I'm off to the hardware store. Hey, I'm back. I actually had my guy go and he bought me, on his way home, he works the overnight shift, so he bought me a wire that fits, a negative wire to go from the battery to the shunt, and the I don't know what it's actually called, but I'm going to call it an eye. I have been. Fits the bolt for the shunt perfectly, and I've now attached it, and I think we might have liftoff, because this came on automatically, and it says specify battery capacity. So I think that's the next step. I've got to figure all that out. Okay, so last night I finished the battery connection and downloaded the app, and what I discovered, put in all the information I needed. I found a website that tells you what you need to input into your app based on what kind of batteries you have. So I did that, and I'll share that with you. But it's still not, when I turned on items in my camper, it's still not showing any kind of a load, and it says that it's an open, I should have looked it up before an open connection, I'll confirm that. I can't remember. I should have looked it up again. Well, it's been a long day. I worked all day, and then I tried to get the battery wrapped up, and I downloaded the app, and it looked great. It found the Victron monitor, and and everything was going well, and I found these settings to set it up, and I did that. And then I came in and turned on some stuff in the camper, and no, nothing showing. So it looks like it says that I have an open relay, and I think it should be closed. And so I did a quick search, and it said one of the issues may be if you use different gauged wires on your batteries, which I think I did. So that's probably the next thing I need to go back and look at. Fortunately, things are still working, but so after all my worrying about the Victron smart monitor for my battery, it actually, when I was out, it was actually working. So I don't know why it didn't work when I first set it up, and thought the open relay was a problem, but actually that's the way it's supposed to be. It's supposed to say open in the software. And so it's good. It's working. The only thing I'm not sure that I understand is how, like, there has to be a way to integrate the one solar panel I have and how to manage that. So that I still have to figure out. So if you have any ideas, let me know.